Great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll be talking about Viva Engage. If you've not heard of Viva Engage, it's a platform for community engagement at Microsoft. Uh, we have a lot of customers using the platform to unlock employee engagement, drive meaningful business outcomes. It connects people across the organization, enriches culture, empowers leaders to scale their impact. And there's a question in chat. Looking forward to hearing from you how your organizations foster community engagement across teams. Would love to learn from you and your experiences there. Viva Engage integrates across Outlook, SharePoint, and Teams, making it easy for employees to engage in the flow of work. It connects people, share news, knowledge, and foster collaboration, empowering leaders to communicate, engage in a two-way dialogue. Very few platforms offer that flexibility and offering. And it's powered by Copilot and AI. It supports productivity and helps everyone find knowledge, expert, and answer questions to answer questions that get answered quicker. Now let's talk about building digital knowledge base using Viva Engage. It's one of the superpowers of Viva Engage, enables the creation of organizational communities that simplify departmental, org-wide collaboration. An example would be of, let's say, a company news and events community. You have countrywide or regional groups that you create, and that's an opportunity for employees to come together and share knowledge. At Microsoft, we use Viva Engage extensively for our communities and sharing organizational-wide resources, news, and communication from leaders. All of us engage in a two-way dialogue. We can like and comment to a leader's post, engage in these discussions in a community, ask questions, be a subject matter expert, and answer questions from employees as well. It supports shared services communities as well. We have a thriving Ask HR community, our IT communities, communities for immigration questions that helps inform and engage and respond to stakeholders across the entire organization. You can also create communities of practice. These could be for new hires, for specific teams like marketing, product, IT, and these are again focused on letting employees ask questions, connect with experts, and share best practices. And of course, the most important and the most thriving communities, even at Microsoft, are special interest-based communities. Be it foodies, be it dogs at Microsoft, they receive the most attention, a lot of passion that employees have for these topics, and they heavily engage in these communities to share pictures, videos, and talk about what they're really passionate about. Encourage everyone to utilize these communities to share knowledge, solve problems, and build connections. It's very, very important that it drives towards business objectives as well. So it's a fair balance between communities of interest and organizational wide communities and shared services. Now going into a little bit more detail of how Viva Engage communities foster these two-way dialogue or enables employees to ask questions. Encourage employees to ask questions in these knowledge communities so that they can get answers quickly. Viva Engage is tailored for knowledge sharing. What our data shows us is 70% questions that in these communities have 70% more replies and views. So really promoting the value of asking questions. Emphasize that these questions and answers should be vetted so that it builds trust and quality of these communities, and remind the audience if someone is brave enough to ask a question, make sure it gets a reliable answer. Viva Engage is powered by Copilot. So it helps reduce duplicate question, delivers faster answers using related question detection. So it looks at, as you start typing in, as you see this question here from Megan, she's asking about business cards, and she just starts typing in there, and she sees an answer appear already, which has the best answer marked. Now she can go ahead and click on that question and get the answer without even going through the flow of asking that question, waiting for people to answer her question, and so on and so forth. Viva Engage has top questions, a dynamic FAQ for your community. Top questions looks at all questions that have been asked in the last 90 days and ranks them in terms of number of views, and it shows you in your communities, and again reduces the number of questions you need to ask. And these are typically the questions that have the most views and hence top of mind for individuals. So it takes care of a lot of this by default. And then impact. We show through our advanced analytics in Viva Engage how much time you're able to save as employees asking questions or as subject matter experts answering those questions. A lot of time and value is added. Individual users have access to personal analytics, helping them track their contributions. And analytics are there across the organization as well for sharing knowledge, benefiting business, again, saving time in this process. Now that you've looked at Viva Engage and its value as part of knowledge sharing, definitely there's a lot of value added with respect to Copilot adoption. I'm sure all of you care about it. Viva Engage communities specially created for Copilot adoption. What we have seen from our data is customers using these communities have 35% more adoption of Copilot in general. And let's come to why this happens. These communities are tailored to drive Copilot adoption. It has specific community templates built in, suggested member additions. I've heard time and again from our customers, it's a nightmare to track all employees that get access from time to time and keep adding them to a community or forums. Viva Engage takes care of that by default. It suggests members that have a license and you can just add them to the community with one click. It has onboarding checklist built in. So you as the community manager or communicator know exactly what to do next. It has ready out of the box post. We update these posts on a weekly basis based on new features being added to Copilot. And these are your opportunity to amplify those as part of the organization. And Viva Engage supports that. And also frequently asked questions. These are questions which are top of mind for individuals. They see it right in the very beginning of their journey, so they don't have to ask those questions again. Before we move any far ahead, another question in the chat: what type of communities do you have, and what impact have you seen from those communities? Please share your thoughts in comment. Copilot and Viva Engage helps create engagement. You see your top questions, you can share learnings, stories, and amplify these knowledge across the entire organization. Viva Engage promotes those as part of, if you've used Viva Engage, you see those daily digests, weekly digests really help promote the culture of sharing knowledge, sharing learnings and stories that then reach everyone in the organization, and they're empowered to share their own. If you don't see information that you need, you can go ahead and ask a question. And as you can see in this experience, while you're typing in that question, with AI-powered suggestion, it shows you the related questions that have been answered before. And it has best answers tagged to some of these questions that have already been answered. So if one of these are exactly something which I was looking for, I can go ahead and see the answer. If I'm not interested or that does not answer my question, I can go ahead and still ask that question. And now this question is then answered by subject matter experts from that community. So here we are in the new Copilot adoption community for Viva Engage. I can ask questions, see AI recommended answers. I can see top questions on the right-hand side. These are based on views, number of questions that have been asked, and views that you're seeing for these questions, and these would be top of mind for employees in the organization. So you're seeing that in that adoption community itself. Really helps promote adoption. And as we shared from our numbers, we see 35% higher adoption from employees that are in this community and focused on Copilot adoption. Now, these engaged posts become the source of knowledge for Copilot in general. These posts will show up in Microsoft Copilot results. So people across the organization have access to the latest knowledge that becomes available. You're asking a question that gets vetted by experts, and you're seeing those answers show up in Copilot results. So it adds more weight to the result itself. Now, moving on to Copilot and Viva Engage. We not only support the overall benefit of Copilot, we have a lot of powerful capabilities inbuilt in Viva Engage to support your experiences. With Copilot and Viva Engage, you'll be able to search across all your Engage and M365 content to help you write posts that can reference your emails, your meetings, your documents, Engage content. For example, if you wanted to post about what I did this week and post to your organization, this could help get started with that process. It looks at information that is available across MS Graph and helps you craft a powerful message that you can then share to your storyline and Viva Engage. In addition to helping you author posts, it can help you with search, summarization, catching up on information across Viva Engage, communities, storyline, campaigns, and more. Copilot in Viva Engage is context aware. It recognizes where you are. Whether you're in a community, you're in your storyline, you're looking for information across Viva Engage, it recognizes that and helps you catch up faster and find what you need, all staying focused on your current context. It also has pre-populated prompts. So you don't need to think about these questions. All the skills that are supported in Viva Engage Copilot are shown up as prompts as you change these surfaces, whether it's across the entire network, where you want to understand what are the popular themes of communication in Viva Engage across the entire network, you're able to do that. In a community, if you want to just catch up on post or find out where you're at mentioned, you're able to do that in the community context. Or in your storyline, you want to find out what were the top comments. You're able to find that information, again, with a single prompt. Get the latest updates across your entire network, inside specific communities, all in a single click. You get clean, organized summaries that help you focus on what truly matters. It looks at all the information that is available to you and helps you catch up on that information. If you're back from a vacation and you have hundreds of posts to catch up on, the catch up option in Viva Engage Copilot really helps save you time. And now as we are speaking about the use case of trending themes across the network, if you're curious about what people are talking about across your organization, the prompt is shown here for trending themes across the entire Viva Engage network. You can use this content then to create a very powerful content calendar, which is again backed by data from this public information in Viva Engage as a communicator. And I'm not sure if you've faced this before, but I face it pretty often, that I see a post from a leader or one of my peers, and then I'm unable to find that or recollect where this was posted. Viva Engage Copilot really solves for these use cases as well, where you can seamlessly search for information. You can mention that this was a post from an individual shared in a particular community. Just use one of the keywords you remember, and Viva Engage Copilot is able to search that information for you in a couple of clicks. Not just limited to Copilot and Viva Engage, we're using AI and Copilot to bring themes and help you with moderation. We've heard time and again from our customers, this is top of mind for them, where these discussions that are happening across the Viva Engage network, you'd like to moderate that content. And if not moderate, they want to understand what's really happening across the entire network. Earlier, we used to support keyword monitoring, where you needed to add hundreds of keywords. But now, with AI, we are able to monitor themes. You can create a theme for promotions, for celebration, and you're able to track all posts across Viva Engage network that are aligned to that theme. And you get that information as part of a dashboard, and you're able to track those. It need not be just negative themes. It could be positive themes, like I mentioned, promotion, celebration, or it could be themes like religion or politics, where you don't want people to talk about or discuss those as part of Viva Engage network. All of that, again, with a couple of clicks, setting up these themes and you're able to track that information. Now, coming to the additional capabilities that are available that will support you in the Copilot adoption journey. Leaders are the key drivers of AI awareness. Viva Engage gives leaders superpowers. You can mark someone or assign someone as a leader based on your org chart, assign them an audience. So whenever they post, their post reaches their desired audience. You're able to announce to a leader's audience. They need not post to just a community. They can post from their storyline like they would do in LinkedIn. And everyone who is part of their network gets notified if it's an announcement, or gets to engage with this communication in their flow of work. It could be a notification in Outlook. It could be in Teams or in Engage itself. As I scroll through my feed, I see the communication from leaders show up. Leaders' posts are amplified, given more weightage, and hence you see it more often than any other individual. You have virtual town halls and broadcast events that can be hosted in Viva Engage that helps, again, support Copilot adoption journey, where you can host events, and we have a lot of customers use Viva Engage events. It's, again, powered by teams in the backend to support their Copilot adoption efforts, where they have weekly and monthly sessions to talk about what's new in Copilot, talk about all advancements, work they are doing as a team to promote awareness for Copilot in general. You can use these events to amplify the message again. Viva Engage has Ask Me Anything events. It's the only place in Viva Engage where you can ask anonymous questions. You can, of course, moderate these Ask Me Anythings, where as a leader, you're able to understand the true pulse of the entire organization, where employees don't need to worry about their name showing up. It's truly anonymous and really helps you understand the pulse of the organization and then address them. Engage in that two-way dialogue when you're hosting that town hall and address these questions from employees. You have options to upvote questions as well for employees. So if you relate to a question, you can go ahead and upvote that question. And as an organizer, I can filter these AMAs based on the number of upvotes. And then the most powerful feature here is to launch campaigns. In Viva Engage, we hosted our 50th anniversary celebration for Microsoft. We are right now in the middle of another powerful event, a campaign across Microsoft called the Give campaign. All of these are hosted in Viva Engage. And using an example here, use the hashtag Microsoft Copilot as you share and talk about anything to do with Microsoft Copilot, and that helps amplify the messages brings people together towards a common cause, share their knowledge, share their stories as an initiative itself. And to top it all off, we have analytics available at the campaign level, analytics for leaders and their audiences, analytics available at the individual to communities to the network level also, where you're able to understand what the activation looks like. You're able to understand themes across the entire network and then take action based on those themes, which are, again, generated using AI. We'll cover the last section before I go over a quick demo to show you the platform. Some key takeaways from all our learnings of using Viva Engage and our customers using Viva Engage is a small reply from a leader contributes very heavily towards active engagement of employees. What we have seen from our data, a reply from a leader increases daily activity of employees by 9% over a monthly period. Leaders engaging in a two-way dialogue helps employees be more retained, increases employee retention by over 30% if they are highly engaged in their network. And then some tips for you to take back and use as part of your network. Post to a community that is active, that helps with your posts getting more reach. Mention people. If they're involved with you in a project or you want to share, get their thoughts, tag them as part of the post in Viva Engage, brings them and helps as part of their journey of sharing information, sharing knowledge. If you don't have a lot of followers in your storyline, don't post to your storyline. Post to communities where there is active engagement. Post during work hours and earlier in the week, we have seen more engagement, and also they're highly likely to get picked up as part of the daily or the weekly digest, which helps amplify and share that information with employees in Outlook and Teams. Include photos and videos. What we have seen from our data, that users engage with long posts that have more images and videos associated with that. That's what we'll recommend, that you use and include videos and images as part of your post. And end your post with a question, a call to action that brings everyone together and helps them understand what the next steps are. Now, this is data we are showing for network analytics. You're able to see AI-powered analytics is using Azure services to bring this data together to understand themes across the entire network. Again, you're not asking this question to employees. You're able to bring this information together from all posts that are there available across the entire network. Bringing that together for you as a leader, for you as a communicator in IT, to help understand what the themes are, what are people talking about, and then take action based on this information, craft your communication strategy, your next steps as a leader based on this information which we can provide to you. And not just there, you're seeing all conversations that are helping create these themes. So for career development or AI skills, you're seeing what the top conversations are and what the sentiment for each of these posts are. You're not able to get this information anywhere else. Viva Engage has public content, and this brings all of that information together into one place for you to take actionable measures. I'll stop here if you have any questions before I dive into a quick demo. I do see some questions in the chat. Now I'm looking at them. Okay. ERG roles, office locations. Please feel free to come off mute if you have a question. To be a member of a community, for the answered questions to show up in Copilot. Yep. Question from Jonathan. Do you have to be a member of a community for answered questions show up in Copilot? You need not be a member. It is, if you're part of a public community, the questions were asked there. If it was part of a private community, then it does not show up in Copilot for you, since you're not part of that community. But if you're part of public communities, or in general, these were shared as part of public knowledge, these would show up in Copilot. Seeing another question here. Guest access control question from Jason. Gauge have recently changed. Admins can no longer manage guest access. Admin center peers now allowed handled through community admins. So sensitivity labels are coming soon. That's something which we are working on, and we can share more updates, details with you one-on-one. In terms of admin control, for guest access, yes, this is a change, but this is not specific to Viva Engage. It's similar to other Microsoft platforms. So we're aligning to what other platforms at Microsoft have been operating. This again is something you can control at the intra level in terms of whether you want to support guest access or not. So I hope that answered your question, Jason. See, there are no more questions. I'll stop sharing and move to my demo setup. Okay. Go ahead and share my screen. Please let me know once you can see it.
Yes, looks good.
Okay, great. So this is what Viva Engage should look like for you. If you go to engage.cloud.microsoft, you land in this home feed for Viva Engage, which is highly tailored to you as an individual. If you're part of a community, if you've added communities as part of the favorite list, or if you have leaders assigned and you're part of a leaders audience, we boost leader content as part of your home feed. So you see those leader content show up higher than other posts. In here, as you can see, there are announcements, there are questions from individuals, the questions and polls in a community I'm part of. All of these show up, again, tailored, a communication, which is for me as an individual based on my interest and intent. You're able to see other aspects of Viva Engage. AMAs, we spoke about that. You see active campaigns, and you see prompt for us to help you follow individuals who post actively to Viva Engage or part of your network that you could follow. And as they share content, information, you'll be able to see that show up for you as part of your home feed. And as you get started here, you're seeing some of these conversation starters. You can, again, Viva Engage helps promote conversations. Let's say you want to talk about the Give campaign with the hashtag Give. Viva Engage Copilot can help you draft content for that campaign itself. You can ask it to make it more personal. And once you're satisfied with that post, you can add it and post it to Viva Engage with a couple of clicks. Again, you can add more resources, information. You can mention people in terms of seeing content from them or include files as part of the workflow itself. All of that, again, becomes much more simpler, gets you over the writer's block of what you should share, and helps you write content very, very personalized based on your interest. Now, you're talking about leaders and Leadership Corner. In Viva Engage, we have a functionality called Leadership Corner, which brings all leaders and leader content in one place. I find it very, very valuable, even for us at Microsoft, where I can see all our assigned leaders. These are all the leaders in the organization. I'm able to see content from these leaders. So Karen, as a VP of recruiting, has shared about product updates. I'm able to see that in one place. And as I scroll through, there are other posts from leaders and leaders I should follow. So I'm able to get information from these leaders, what is top of mind for them, and then align my work, my day-to-day based on what leaders care about, what is top of mind for these leaders in the organization. So for this information to show up here, I need to assign someone as a leader. And again, you get to decide who these leaders are. But once you have done that at Microsoft, corporate vice presidents and above are considered leaders who have audiences mapped to them. In this example, you're going to mark Karen, who's a VP of recruiting, as a leader. So now we've added her as a leader. Now what we do need to do next is assign that leader an audience. So when she posts, it goes out to her audience. People who are part of the recruiting team get to know what is top of mind for Karen. If Karen was the CEO of the organization, then you can make the entire organization as her audience. But here, you're able to add audiences based on distribution groups, distribution list, and MN365 groups. You add them as audience for Karen. And once you have done that, the payoff is when Karen posts to her storyline, she's able to reach individuals. In this case, we're posting an announcement on behalf of Karen. So we have all the delegate management controls taken care of. And she's posting about a new product. You're able to see this post is going to reach 136 people who are part of Karen's audience. And you go ahead and post. And now you're seeing likes and reactions. Comments will also show up and views for this post itself. This post, you're seeing this as a notification in Teams. You'll be able to see this information in Outlook as well. So in the flow of work, the information shows up where you are. The next capability we went over as part of the knowledge aspects of Viva Engage. You can ask questions. You're seeing best answers here. You can upvote a particular question. So it shows up higher for others who are looking to get or looking for answers for this question. And as you start typing in, I want to find out about virtual team building events. And as I typed in that question, I'm able to see there are other related questions that have been answered before and have best answers. So now it saves me a lot of time as someone that has a question. I can go in and review the best answer for these posts. And for me, if I'm the subject matter expert, I don't have to spend a lot of time and again answer the same question. So there is double benefit for employees and subject matter experts. Answers in Viva Engage brings all of these questions across the entire network together in one place. And again, in the age of AI and Copilot, it acts as a knowledge source for Copilot. Helps you with these vetted answers from experts. As we started our discussion, Viva Engage is a community-led product. You can create communities at the organizational level based on interest, ERGs, focused on specific roles and geographies. All of that is supported in Viva Engage. Let's take an example of a sales best practice community. In this community, if Alan, there's a post from Alan, LVI here, who is the head of sales, sharing about a store opening and guidance there. There's a question from Robert about customer loyalty. All of that as part of the community itself, fostering dialogue between employees and leaders. Next, about storylines. Again, a very key feature where you as an individual can share in your voice how you would do it outside as part of LinkedIn. You can do the same in Viva Engage. You can build your followership based on areas where you have your expertise and share that information to your entire network. And you build your credibility and your personality in the organization over time. Before we go into analytics, just wanted to quickly show you AMAs, which we briefly went over earlier. In Viva Engage, again, the only place where you can ask anonymous questions. You can create moderated AMAs, and it could be focused in this example on diversity and inclusion, could be focused on Copilot adoption, could be about, in general, questions for employee town hall. We just had our E plus DM part of the Experiences and Devices org at Microsoft. We had our AMA some time back today, and we are using the AMA feature in Viva Engage to bring those questions from employees. And there were a lot of anonymous questions in the flow of work as well. So this is the view for organizers. You can share more details about what the AMA is all about, details of the event. There are questions here where employees can upvote, again, ask follow-up questions. You're seeing anonymous questions show up here. You can ask those hard questions, not sharing who you are. And again, this is the published view. There's a review view as well for organizers, where if you're making this AMA moderated, you can choose to publish or dismiss questions which don't align with the focus of the AMA, and keeping it very structured in terms of a governance model. So now, the last and final thing I wanted to cover before we go into some of the Copilot and AI capabilities of Viva Engage, you have analytics available at each level in Viva Engage. This is at the personal level. So I'm seeing the reach I have received from my post in the last 28 days, a breakdown of viewers, folks that are involved, engaged, the total viewership and followership I've gained over time. I'm able to see that information. What are the top conversations which have most views, reactions, comments? I'm able to see that kind of information as well. If there were top comments, I'm able to see that for my own personal analytics and where I have engaged the most, whether it's a community that has received community post that has received most views. So I'm going to go back to that community next time and post there because I know that community has the most contribution and ROI for my post. You have analytics available at the leader and the audience level. You're seeing the sentiment. You're bringing this information together again using AI across all posts from the leader's audience and showing you the sentiment of the leader's audience. This is, again, not the network level. This is tailored to the leader, Karen, and her audience. You're seeing the most popular themes for that leader's audience. They're talking about AI adoption, the future of AI, responsible AI, AI job impact, and more. And you're seeing which conversations contribute towards that theme. And then you can take action based on this information. As a communicator working with the leader, you're able to craft information and content and create your content calendar based on what these popular themes are. A leader could involve in a two-way dialogue. As a leader can go into these posts, like, comment, and share my thoughts, because this is, again, top of mind for employees in the organization. And it's even more valuable and important in the age of AI. You're seeing the audience activity for the leader. You're seeing top conversations in the leader's audience, where these conversations are, where are they coming from, who are these from, that kind of information. And then what are the most popular communities in your audience? So as a leader, I exactly know these are the communities I should be more involved and engaged in. So the tech enthusiast community, I'm going there next as a leader to share my thoughts, comment, or like employee post. Again, as we showed from our data, that highly impacts employee retention and active engagement in platform. Now we showed you the personal level analytics. There's analytics available for campaigns, for answers, spoke about the time saved aspects of answers, but there's analytics available for the entire network too. You're bringing information from employees that are active in the platform to show you employee retention data. Again, this is not to say that Viva Engage is the sole contributor towards employee engagement, but we have seen from our research that employees that are highly active, at least view content in Viva Engage, are more likely to be retained. And again, it has definitely some correlation. If I'm seeing content from leaders, I understand what the company's mission, vision, values are. If it's aligned to my own, I am more likely to be retained as an employee in the organization. And seeing network level activity, people you're able to reach, where are these views and comments coming from? I'm able to see a breakdown of platform. I'm able to see sentiment at the post level, whether these are trending positive or negative. If they're trending negative, then I can take the next action of going through these themes and understanding which are these themes that have negative sentiment. And then I can take action as a leader, as a communicator, work with our leaders to ensure that we have a plan to change that sentiment from negative to positive. At the network level, you're also able to see frequent contributors. These could be leaders or employees. For leaders, it could be a healthy competition between some of these leaders, bringing them on board, showing them that others are doing much more. And again, building that positive culture of leader and employee two-way dialogue. If employees are highly engaged, those could be your influencers, sharing your message, be it about Copilot adoption, be it about any company news, anything new that is happening in the organization. Those could be your influencers, sharing information across the entire network. We give you information about top conversations that are happening across the entire network. So as a leader, as a communicator, you can then understand and go into these discussions and see what the discussion is all about, contribute, or take action in terms of moderation if needed. You're able to understand, and we're giving you that information about popular communities so you can learn from what these communities are doing really well and make that into your best practice, which you share with any new community that is created or community managers, so that we can also ensure some of these best practices are taken into account to ensure these communities are more thriving. You're seeing data for training campaigns. In this case, the workplace wellness campaign is doing really well, where you have a number of employees contributing towards that campaign. And again, you're able to see insights at the campaign level and go into more details for campaign analytics. So that was an overall of art of the possible with Viva Engage. We, of course, have Copilot and Viva Engage available to all our customers with a Copilot license. You can catch me up. This is the actual Microsoft network. I'm here in our Viva Engage customer community. If you're a customer, happy to have you join the customer community. It's a thriving place for customers to ask questions and get their questions answered. You're seeing I can catch up on the community context, find conversations about a subject, find posts from individuals. I have more in terms of prompts. I can catch up across trending themes across the entire network on a particular campaign. All of that again in the flow of work in Viva Engage. I can find content where that mentioned. All of that again possible with Copilot and Viva Engage, which is grounded on context on your MS graph. And about drafting and writing post, Viva Engage helps you get over that writer's block. You can again include people, files, meetings, details from Copilot itself and use that information to craft a powerful message, which you then share and amplify to your entire network, to a particular community, and get your voice heard. We have a lot of prompts again available as part of the prompt guide in Viva Engage. So you don't need to think about what the prompt should be. You can get started with brainstorming, giving you template ideas, or helping you draft a paragraph, or even give you feedback or edit content which I've already written. So all of those capabilities supported using Copilot and Viva Engage. And the other example is this question from one of our customers about notification. I went ahead and typed that into the Copilot chat experience and then cited content from Viva Engage. This is again available to all of you with a Copilot license. You're able to see content across MS Graph, be it in Teams, be it in Outlook, or in Engage. All of that is used to answer questions in Copilot itself. So that was it from my end. And now I'll stop sharing and answer any additional questions in chat. Please feel free to come off mute and ask your questions. Looking at this question from Jason now, do you have any insights into whether Viva might ever evolve into a full HCM? Totally understand that, Jason. We right now don't have plans to become a full-blown HCM. That's what I can talk about from a strategy perspective. But again, acknowledge your comment about Viva Engage and the premium license. You're correct about requiring a premium license of some of these capabilities. But definitely, as part of Copilot adoption, a lot of these capabilities are available in the Copilot adoption community context. So if you're using Viva Engage for your Copilot adoption, we highly recommend you to enable the Copilot adoption community. It comes backed with articles, long form content, question and answers, the answer capability which we showed you in the flow of work, and again, feedback taken from a cost perspective. And I'll end with one final question. What's one key takeaway from today that you'll apply immediately? And hopefully there'll be Copilot adoption Viva Engage. Thank you, everyone.